Well, 6 more weeks of this crappy weather, according to General Lee.
No.
The overgrown chipmunk, better known as a groundhog, crawled out of his hole, saw his shadow, and said, hey, 6 more weeks. Does he have any idea what we're going through right now? We're freezing our tails off. Cars are sliding off the road. Schools are closed. And then he comes out and says 6 more weeks of this stuff.
He probably has no clue. And
we need to fire him.
Yeah.
We need to fire him. Yeah, that's very frustrating to have that weather coming up. We got a great show in store for y'all today. It's going to be kind of like speed dating because we have a bunch of guests today. Check out this lineup. Dessa Morris with the Walton County Workforce Development. If you are sitting on the couch eating chips right now and feeling lazy and think, man, I need to get back to work, Dessa is going to point you in the right direction to put you back in the labor force. Mark Whitley, Athletic Director of George Walton Academy, will be here in person. Jason Black, young man running for Georgia State Senate just north of us. And then Stacy McCullers, real estate agent. Kim Wages with the Special Olympics.
Yes.
Got a lot of stuff going on with the Special Olympics, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's going to
So
fill
exciting.
us in. Yeah, it's going to be cool. And then to close out today's fantastic show, David Earl from Franklin's Gun Shop. You know, David gives us the fishing report. I know right now you're thinking fishing. Who's thinking of fishing?
David.
I mean, it could be ice fishing. I don't know. He's got something in store for us. And remember, he always brings something to the table for the ladies as well. You know, it may sound like a guy's 15-minute fishing report, but he always has something in there for the women, whether it's gift ideas or something cool for us to do.
And Valentine's Day is coming up, so might be a good gift for the guys.
What better date than to go fishing?
Hey, well, I wasn't thinking that, but
Well, I mean, that would be a lot of fun for me. Liliana loves fishing.
I'm sure.
Oh, my goodness. Prayers go out to a Gwinnett County police officer that was shot and killed this past weekend. Just devastating. It just hurts my heart. His partner was critically wounded. They were responding to a fraudulent or a fraud call, I guess, at a hotel, and they went in and were having a conversation with the suspect when he produced a firearm, opened fire, killed a young man, 25 years old, just joined the force last year. Just breaks my heart. Man, the danger that our law enforcement officers are in every single day, even when they're not, confronting those that are committing a crime, just sometimes they're helping a motorist and they get hit by cars. They're in harm's way every time they go to work.
They put on their badge every day to protect and serve.
So prayers to the families of those that are just reeling right now in tragedy. Devastating. There was a big ICE operation up in West Virginia where they nabbed about 650 individuals. This was a 2-week period from January 5th to January 19th. And this went really smooth. You didn't see all the riots and the protesting and the chaos that has been orchestrated up in Minnesota. This kind of went under the radar. But they did a really good job of removing foreign nationals who should not be here. These are men and women who entered our country illegally. And in addition to that, they have criminal histories. The prior convictions of those arrested include things as child endangerment, drug possession, and beyond. But just kudos to them. They get so much. It's the left-leaning media that gives so much dark coverage to the ICE operations, specifically up in Minnesota, when they have cameras on every scenario where just things don't go quite right. But we have to remember, here's 650 individuals removed from our country that were criminal, illegal aliens. That's 650 events alone in just a 2-week period where they did their job and they made our country safer.
Absolutely.
That's just one state, 1 2-week window. 650 removed. So if you can imagine when you spread this out to the other areas in our country where they're performing their mission and they're removing thousands upon thousands of people who shouldn't be here, who have committed crimes, I've just got a question. What does the left have to protest when it comes to this? You're going to isolate these handful of just individual circumstances where things don't go right. Why don't they go right? Because agitating protesters who are constantly trying to impede the progress of these ICE agents, using their vehicles in a threatening manner, getting into fights, resisting arrest, and then things don't go right. ICE is doing a good job.
Yep,
they need to keep it up,
Yes.
keeping our country safer. And I appreciate the agents and the absolute chaos that they have to face day in and day out, just like our officers here in Georgia. Day in and day out, they face threats, they face danger, and it is a real threat. It's a real danger. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. So it's interesting. I think in conjunction when you look at the ICE efforts and the removing illegal immigrants, and of course the Trump administration has offered other incentives for immigrants to self-deport. Illegal immigrants can go online and they can self-deport. When you combine the fact that we are not having babies at the pace that we used to, and that there's been a massive reduction of illegal immigrants in the past, since President Trump took over, they're saying by the end of this fiscal year for how they count population, so by the end of July 1st, 2025, no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. By the end of this year, if everything continues, the U.S. population could fall by 400,000. So what they're looking at is this trajectory of people do not have babies like they used to. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
We used to have big families, right?
Yeah. It's pretty it's like 40%, 40% low. So it's an unprecedented.
Young couples don't want to have babies anymore, do they?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what.
Well, you combine that with the elimination or the reduction of the illegal immigrants, we may actually shrink in population this year. So a couple things I take of this. First off, we have to keep our foot on the gas in removing the illegal immigrants, especially the criminals that have come here, the violent criminals. Continue that. But we got to start making babies, folks.
Have more babies.
Yeah, for all you young folks out there. And look, don't worry. If you're concerned about that maybe you're not real good looking, you don't want to create ugly babies, don't worry. We might mind ugly babies.
No baby's ugly.
No baby's
anyway.
ugly, yeah.
Also
I
cute.
don't know, Chassie. I've seen an ugly baby or two.
But, a lot of the younger kids, I feel like they're like, oh, we're going to wait. We're going to get our finances and get a lot of things in order, and that's great. But the longer you wait, sometimes to me, just go on that ledge and step off. That's
right.
Just.
And I respect somebody who wants to get their finances in order.
Sure.
That's good. Get a foundation, but you don't want to wait till you're,
No.
I don't know.
30,
I don't know what's a proper
40,
age.
I don't know.
I guess we got started somewhat late. Liliana was 27. I was 30 when I had our first baby.
That was about us.
Then we had 2. We probably should have had 3. Liliana says she wanted a girl.
I wanted 5.
What?
Yeah, I wanted 5 kids. We have 4, so.
All right. Well, you made up for the one that we didn't have.
And then 2 grandbabies. They're the best.
That's awesome, Chastity. That's awesome. Well, you've done your job.
Yes.
But, I just tell people, it's like, hey, there's no greater joy in life. When you're talking to a young couple, there's no greater joy in life than bringing
Absolutely.
babies into the world. But I don't know. For some reason, overall, our population is declining. People are not having babies at the same pace. I just don't. We need to do a deep dive on that one day on a show. Can't solve that mystery in the next 60 seconds, but we can do that. We'll do a deep dive, figure out why people are doing it. Maybe we'll get some young couples in here and have a conversation with them.
There you go.
See if we can't fire them up.
Yeah.
Get them on the right road. All right, let's see what else did I have here to talk about. Oh, did you see the Melania Trump documentary?
Oh, I love her.
Have you gone to see it yet?
No, I haven't.
So this has been a smashing success. And, of course, it's driving the left crazy that is a smashing success. But they're saying this may be one of the best documentaries in the past 10 years, judging by the initial box office opening where it's yielded at least $8 million in the first weekend, which is just fantastic. So Liliana went and saw this, and she said it's awesome.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, she went with all her girl buddies.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Yeah.
I bet that was a great trip.
Yeah, she was very inspirational. You got a behind-the-scenes look at what took place during the second inauguration, and just kind of all the things that she does and how she's, obviously she's, big-time fashion, right?
Sure.
So everything's in the details.
She's super smart. She knows like 7 different languages. I mean, just brilliant.
She is brilliant.
And beautiful, too.
Yeah, she is. Beautiful woman.
So stunning.
Liliana said it was well worth it. Great. And so, and yeah, I get it. This is, who's the clientele that's going to go to this movie? It's going to be conservative women, right? That's who it's directed to. Of course, the left kind of laughs at that, but I think, hey, this is what better role model for women than Melania Trump?
I agree.
She's been a rock star.
Absolutely.
Not something I would be caught, though, seeing. I mean, not that I'm too cool for it, but it's just, I think I'll wait till it comes out in the documentary at home, but I'm not going to be in the theater. I'd be like the only guy in the theater. That'd be kind of creepy. They'd kick me out.
Girls only.
I think it's a girls-only type deal. Absolutely. All right, you listen to the Marc MaMain Show. We come back. Get your boots on. Get ready to go to work. Miss Dessa Morris is going to be joining us. She is the Vice President, Workforce Development Authority of Walton County. She is going to tell us who, what, where, when, and why, and how to go to work. We'll be right back.
Looking for that perfect piece of jewelry designed just for you? At P&A Jewelers, family owned since 1976, we've been helping our customers shine for nearly 50 years. Now proudly run by second-generation brother and sister team, we specialize in custom jewelry design, expert repair work, and fine jewelry for every occasion. Visit P&A Jewelers, where family tradition sparkles. Located in Loganville beside Quick Trip, or online at shoppajewelers.com. Follow us on Facebook to see what's new.
When you walk through the doors of Campton Restaurant, you're not just here for a meal. You're part of a tradition. I'm fourth-generation owner Josh Parker, and for nearly 40 years, families in Walton County and surrounding areas have gathered around our tables to share stories, laughter, and good Southern cooking. From crispy fried chicken to heart-healthy daily specials, there's always a plate waiting with your name on it. We're open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. So come on by, make yourself at home, and experience Campton Restaurant, where family tradition meets every meal.
Dreaming of the perfect backyard this summer? Hi, I'm Jason with Rosewood Luxury Pools. We design, build custom in-ground pools with timeless design and lasting quality. As a licensed general contractor, we handle every detail from concept to completion, so you can just relax and enjoy the process. Summer's right around the corner. Let's get ready for your pool party. Give us a call at 678-635-7276 or look us up at rosewoodluxurypools.com.
Affordable housing is just around the corner at Cimarron Park. Cimarron Park is a mobile community located on Harry Arnold Road, just off of Highway 78 in Monroe, that offers 2- and 3-bedroom homes with spacious wooded lots, lit streets, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Some homes are for sale with available financing. Call James for all the details. 404-401-1068. That's 404-401-1068. Or go to CimarronPark.com.
Welcome back, Marc MaMain. Our first guest, my friend Dessa Morris. She is with the Walton County Development Authority, and she's in charge of getting people back to work. Dessa, thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Mark. Thank you.
How's Michael doing, my pickleball buddy?
He's eager to get back out on the court with you, Mark.
You can't play pickleball when it's 10 degrees out. That ball will crack like an egg if you hit it. It gets fragile. or slip on an ice puddle right now because it's dangerous everywhere. Dessa, let's take just a minute because I realized the last time we spoke, I kind of assume people know who you are. Take just a second and tell people who you are, how you got into your position, and what you do for Walton County.
Okay. Well, I am the Vice President of Workforce Development for the Development Authority of Walton County. So my main job, along with my colleague Jamie Cash, is to help our young people and our adults make sure that they are aware and ready for the great jobs in Walton County and the surrounding region. So we work a lot with our high schools, work a lot with adults in transition to getting a new job, because we want people to quit the commute, quit driving, spend your time in Walton County, live here, work here, live in our region, because we have a lot going on, and don't spend your time commuting to Atlanta. 'Cause that way you can run for school board and be on the city council and, make a big difference here. So I came here as a marketing and communications professional, and I was most recently, prior to coming here, worked for the University of Georgia in the Fanning Leadership Center. So Walton County has my heart. I'm glad to be here, get to do a lot of good, and help people improve their lives by having a great job here locally.
What are some of the challenges that you're facing on the workforce side? Because I know we've got great industries who have come to this area to set up shop, and they're doing that because we have a good workforce. We've got people that are qualified and eager to go and participate in the job market. But what are some of the challenges that you face, whether it's hearing from local employers or employees, and what are the solutions to those challenges?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Thank you. I also want to say not only do we have great industries, we have great school systems that are working to make sure our young people are ready. One of the big disconnects is our school systems are trying to teach like technical skills, and our employers are really just looking for teammates, employees that are willing to show up on time every day and pass a drug test. So while there is a little bit of that disconnect, we're really working especially with our young people and our school systems in the region, to stress attendance, stress teamwork, communication, because our industries say we can teach you everything you need to know if you show up with the right work ethic.
That's interesting. That's it, because we just had on last week 3 principals of schools, and you're right, that conversation came up, and I do think there's value in especially in the high schools, of having some type of, let's call it shop class. They have different names for it now, where they're teaching different hands-on skills. And again, at the high school level, it's really just an introductory to what they're teaching them, right? They're not truly teaching them the craft. It's almost like, hey, here's what it's like to saw, hammer, use these tools, whatever it may be. But what I'm hearing is, and this is something we've talked about, Dessa, is maybe a greater emphasis upon how to be a good employee.
Exactly. We are pushing in for the second year in a row, and it's gone on for several years. The Be Pro, Be Proud initiative is coming to every 8th grader in Walton County with both of our school systems, and that exposes the young people to the high-demand career initiatives that are going on in Georgia, but it also talks about those work ethics, those skills, the communication. Actually, my colleague, Jamie Cash, has created, we'll break it here first, coloring books for K through 2 and then 3rd through 5th. And the younger one only focuses on work attributes of being successful, teamwork, determination, working hard. It lists our top 25 employers on the back, but really, as we want to start with those young people, and really get those family values, those work ethic items instilled in them as a young person, and we want the teachers to back that up. And we're finding that that's actually not a big shift for everyone. So everyone seems to be willing and able to do that, and I think it's going to make a big difference.
I love it. I think it's a brilliant idea. I remember when the boys were younger, and I would have bigger projects for them to do in the yard, whether it was putting outside, putting out pine straw, wood chips. And the phrase that I always used for my boys was, I want you to operate at what I call working speed. Meaning you're not just kind of dragging your heels and lumbering from, the pile of chips to spreading it in the thing. You're at a tempo, right? You're doing things at a tempo that gets things done. And my boys joke about it today, that working speed comment, but it's kind of indicative of what you're talking about there, where I love it. It's hey, show up early, work at a good tempo, work fast, be honest, be loyal. It's interesting, Dessa, because if you as an employee just execute those basic skill sets, if you just show up and work hard, you're going to rise to the top. Even if you aren't really an expert at one of the skill sets, if you just show up and work hard, you're going to rise to the top, and you're going to have opportunities for advancement.
Absolutely. And you know who also teaches that? Our sports teams, our athletic teams, from the smallest rec department team to our high school team. They're talking about showing up, being accountable to each other. So it doesn't have to be a fancy robot you're learning to program. Everyone can pull in this direction of getting, and not just our young people, some of our people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s also focused on this teamwork, work speed mentality, work tempo, of doing a great job and being a good team player.
Good stuff. Marc MaMain, our guest, Dessa Morris. She is the Vice President, Workforce Development for the Development Authority of Walton County. Dessa, let's walk through a couple other programs that I think I've got these right, and correct me if I'm wrong. Workforce Wednesday and the Big Hire Aim, is that overlap with what you just discussed, or are those new initiatives?
No, those are wonderful initiatives, and I'm so glad you brought them up. We have our Workforce Wednesday, where we meet at the library in Monroe one Wednesday a month, and it's called Employment Assistance Coaching. We help people get ready, help them apply, get their resume ready. We have a lot of volunteers that come in and just speak to you like your fun aunts and uncles trying to get you ready. We have one of those coming up February 11th, but we also have one coming up March 11th, which is the week before our regional job fair. So we invite we're kicking it off here on the Marc MaMain Show. Our regional job fair is happening March 18th at the Boys and Girls Club in Monroe. We invite our industries and our local employers to come in. We'll have a busload of high school students from each of our 4 high schools but mostly this is an adult event, getting people to work locally and see what's available, and hopefully, like we said, change their commute so they have more time to spend here at home in our region.
Well, and Dessa, what I love about this too, again, because our station reaches out to the lake, it reaches up into Athens. If you're in Athens, this is a 25 to 30-minute drive, depending upon where you are. If you're in Morgan County, it's a 30-minute drive to downtown Monroe to attend these events. And then, like you said, most of these industries based in Walton County, they're based on the east side of Walton County, which makes it a very reasonable commute no matter where you are listening to this program, listening to this station. It's not a far drive. And I'll tell you this, it beats the heck out of driving into Atlanta or Gwinnett County. That's for sure.
Absolutely. It's much easier commute. You'll have more time with your family. And we will also have some employers, especially this is a regional job fair, so we'll have some employers as far east as Athens, also have a heavy concentration of Newton, Morgan, and Jasper County. Folks will be joining us, so we look forward to seeing everyone in your listening area that's just looking for a job or interested in what might be out there. Come talk to our employers. It's a fun day. It's at a great place, the Monroe Girls and Boys Club. It's free. We'll also have some resources there. We'll be handing out some suits and professional wear. Anyway, it's a fun day. I hope your listeners will please come.
And Dessa, what are some of the industries that will be attending this? Or what some of the companies?
Well, typically we have about 30 companies, but like I said, I'm kicking it off here. Our website just went live right before I got on the air.
News.
So we typically, will have our large employers, but also some really interesting mom and pops that are looking for good people. That's the continuous ask. I'm looking for excellence. I'm looking for people who are willing to work, who will show up, and then we're going to make it worth their while and make them loyal to our company.
You know what I love, Dessa, about working for a mom and pop too? And look, the bigger entities, those are fantastic as well, right? You get good benefits, great pay, all the perks that you would expect to get with a larger company. But to go to work for a mom and pop, there's one thing that you'll have that you will not get at the larger companies, and you'll typically get to rub elbows with the leadership of the company, whether it's the president, principal, owner, whoever it may be, CEO. Some of the mom and pops might be small companies, 5, 10, 15, 20 employees, but you may have that opportunity to rub elbows and work with somebody who could then offer some level of mentoring if you have ambitions to one day open your own business as well.
Absolutely. It's a win-win. You're earning a paycheck and building your wisdom.
Well, this is good stuff. I'm glad you decided to break some of this here on the Marc MaMain Show. Anything else that you need to close with? Let's do this. Let's recap the job fair and the website for our listeners so we can point them to that again.
Okay. The job fair is March 18th. It's the regional job fair, and you can find out more information and sign your company up at choosewalton.com/job fair. You can also find information about our Workforce Wednesday. We have them coming up one February 11th, March 11th. If you need some employment assistance coaching or just want some fun folks to help you get ready for the job fair or to go ahead and put in some applications at our companies. So always remember, we maintain a jobs board. I just updated it a little bit this morning with some new links at choosewalton.com/jobs. Do not just go anywhere and look for a job. Make sure you're on a reputable site. And clicking in our site, you click directly to the company's hiring page, whether that be on their website or through a company like LinkedIn or Indeed. So do not pay to apply for a job. Make sure you're going directly to where the company wants you to send. We do not want you to get scammed while you are looking for a job, and that's why we maintain choosewalton.com/jobs.
Dessa, this is fantastic. Great information. I appreciate you breaking some of this on our show. We feel like big shots now. Chastity and our heads are falling off. We're all full of ourselves right now.
Yes.
Well, absolutely. You are big shots. I appreciate the opportunity to break this news for the whole region on your show.
Well,
so
we just want people to go to work, and we appreciate you, Dessa. Please give a big hug to all the guys in your family. Tell them I said hello, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon.
fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity, Mark and Chastity.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Thanks,
ma'am.
Tessa.
That's good stuff, Chastity. Go to
Yes.
work. Yeah, I love, nothing feels better than getting a paycheck.
Yes.
Nothing feels better than getting
And
a paycheck.
Dessa thinks of everything, and to keep the jobs and the community and just keeping it, just so open for our families. I just love what she does.
When I was younger, there were no options to live where I lived and get a job that would be a
no.
quality job.
Yeah.
You would have to drive into Atlanta.
Commute. Yes.
Or at least deep into Gwinnett County.
Duluth or,
And go fight the traffic.
Right.
And now to think about an opportunity where
right
you
here.
you get a job in your backyard paying a good wage. And what I love about this, opportunities to advance.
Yes.
You just heard what she said. If you just show up on time, work hard, be a good team player, those 3 things right there, well, pass a drug
Easy.
test, pass a
Easy.
drug test, 4 things.
Sure.
You're going to be gainfully employed with a good chance for advancing your future. Just love it. Thank you to Dessa for that.
I agree.
You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. When we come back, Mark Whitley, Athletic Director of George Walton Academy. Don't go anywhere.
These days, many think that truth is relative. You have your truth and I have mine. Speaking your truth means staying true to who you are. It may be how you feel, what you believe, or how you identify. Truth, by definition, means conforming to a fact. 2 contradictory ideas can't each both be true. One may be true, one wrong. Or both may be wrong, but they can't both be true. To say so is logical nonsense. So with all the fake news and opinions flying around, how can we know what's true? At Jesus' trial, Pilate cynically asked, "What is truth?" And Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He's not claiming to be one truth, but the truth. Soon after Jesus spoke these words, he rose from the dead. That's enough to convince me that Jesus tells the truth. This is Bryant Wright, speaking right from my heart.
To subscribe to Devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
Are you looking for new tires? Well, look no further than Madison Car Care. They have the largest selection and you'll always get the best price. They also handle a wide range of auto repairs, from the small things like oil changes and wiper blades to the big things like suspension, parts, and radiators. They offer all kinds of accessories, from toolboxes to bed covers, side steps, and they even install those awesome ranch hand bush guards. Give them a call at 706-342-4774 or stop by at 1040 Confederate Road in Madison.
Serving Loganville and the surrounding area for over 25 years, it's the Main Street Barbershop, 305 Main Street next to Braxton's Auction in downtown Loganville, offering old-fashioned service and modern-day styles. Appointments available and walk-ins welcome. Open Tuesday through Saturday with a friendly staff and atmosphere. That's Main Street Barbershop in downtown Loganville. Call 770-554-3300 or go to mainstreetbarberloganville.com to learn more.
Welcome back, Marc MaMain. Our first guest in studio with me, my friend, Coach Mark Whitley, Athletic Director of George Walton Academy. Good to see you, Coach.
Good to be here.
It's been a bit since I've seen you in person last.
It's been a while.
Goes
We're
quick.
a little busy.
Yeah, I know you have. You know, when you walked in, the first thing you asked, "Hey, is this the Julio studio?" And it is. And you and Julio were buddies growing up.
Absolutely. He's a little older than me. When we grew up together, I think he was about 4 years older than us. But we played softball together. Grew up together at Monroe High School.
Went to the same school together.
Yes, sir. I graduated in 1980. I'm going to guess Julio was probably 76, maybe 77. Not real sure, but he was a great athlete.
Really?
Lefty. I mean, he was. I remember some of the things I remember about Julio was, of course, when we played softball together. He would always. We called him Hollywood. He was always had the knee high socks, the elbow pads. He was lefty.
He looked the part.
Oh, buddy. Athletic. I think up the athletic age was his favorite team. I think back then. But,
wow. He could bring it.
Oh yeah, he could.
And what was his sport? Was it softball, baseball? What did he?
Well, he did everything, really, to be honest with you. But really, we kind of butted heads on the softball field.
Okay.
Whether it be against probably church softball, and then some industrial league.
Church softball's no joke.
It's nasty.
All friendships aside, during
yes.
church softball.
The last time I broke my nose was church league basketball in the Nowell Recreation Center. I was coming across the middle. We're doing man-to-man, and John, I hit John right there in front of Jared gosh, I just lost his name. Is one of our officials, but John, an attorney in Walton County.
Clocked him in the nose.
He clocked me.
Oh, he clocked you in the
Oh,
nose.
yeah. That was it. My wife said, "You're done. Get up. You're too old to play church league basketball." So that was it.
Pastor Tommy Fountain used to brag about how he wasn't the biggest guy. He said he used to get the leg hairs and give a little tug on the leg hairs. It's a dirty sport. Dirty sport. Church league. Well, Coach, tell our listeners how you got into coaching. So what was your trajectory from high school into college? Was this always something on the radar for you?
Absolutely. I really no. But as I look back on it, it kind of, I can see, where God was putting me in that direction. Really and truly, my dad grew up in Bethlehem. In between Georgia, one of 5 brothers. My mom grew up in Loganville. She was a great basketball player, graduated in 1958.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
At Loganville High School, great basketball player. She begged me to play basketball.
So you had athletics in the DNA.
Yes.
Then, so yeah.
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you now, Mark, I was an average athlete at best. I tell everybody that. I came out of high school probably 5'11", about 185. I wrestled 189 my senior year. I was a wrestler.
Okay.
Was state runner-up, but didn't really grow physically till I went to college. And so about 3 inches and 40 pounds later, I became I became a guy, but I was a year too late.
So you blossomed then in college, yeah.
Yes.
Now, where'd you go to college?
Well, my first 2 years went to a little small school called Cumberland College in Lebanon, Tennessee. Now it's called Cumberland University. You'll know this school. You sports people will know this school because it was the team that Georgia Tech beat a long time ago, 222-0 in football.
Yeah, I remember that.
Look that fact up. Yeah, look that fact up.
Yeah.
But went there for 2 years. Actually met my wife in 1981, and then I came back to Georgia and finished up at Georgia.
Okay.
And then the career started from there. I really went to school to be an accountant. I thought I wanted to be an accountant. My mom was in the banking business for 37 years, and I really thought I wanted to be an accountant. Pretty good with numbers. But then after a couple of classes at Georgia in statistics, I'm going, you know what? Maybe PE sounds real good. So
I tried that. I tried accounting for a spell, and I was like, I'm not going to count other people's money.
I had a roommate, Jeff Malcolm was my roommate in college at Georgia, and he was an agronomy major. Never made anything but an A. At Rascal, never made anything but a 4.0. And he would have all those science classes, all those other classes he was taking, and I'm taking my last 2 years, badminton, the fun game, and let's go bowling, and they kid me a lot, but 44 years later, I'm still doing it. So
the underwater basket weaving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, what was your first coach? Then you graduate from that. Did you go right into coaching?
Actually, when I was at Georgia. I was at Georgia, and came in '82. And so I was helping at Monroe then. I was helping at on Friday nights. I would come over. Joby Scroggs was the head football coach then. Joby's now long since retired. He was a Hart County coach for years, but he coached us and came back over on Friday nights. Helped them on Friday nights, just like some of our players do now with us at George Walton. And so I kind of fell in love with it.
Would that have been like a lay coach position at the time?
Well, at the time it was, but back in those days.
They didn't call it that.
They didn't call it that.
Yeah.
It just needs some help on the sidelines.
Right.
And so learned a lot there, but started the career at Madison County in Danielsville. I was teaching basic skills math my first year, coaching football. I was a head wrestler. Well, I was assistant wrestling coach, head track coach.
Wow.
I'd never seen a track meet in its entirety. I was a baseball player. Mike Head was my baseball coach at Georgia at Monroe. Really funny story, real quick. My senior year, I decided that I wanted to play golf. I said I'm just going to play golf on a letter in 4 sports.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I went to Coach Head. Now Coach Head since passed away. He and Linda are probably my 2 favorite teachers. They both actually for a short time taught at George Walton before they actually retired. But
okay.
But Mike was my baseball coach, and I went to tell him that I was going to go with golf my senior year. He said, "Well, Mark, it's a good thing you told me because I was probably going to cut you anyway." So it all worked out.
How did the golf turn out? Were you a good golfer? Did you have game?
I was pretty good golfer.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's just something different. But we started in Madison County in Danielsville, and then from there went to Statesboro for a year. Was down there in '86.
And so now you're a teacher, full-time teacher, coaching,
yes,
yeah. And we had some principals on last week that did that. People don't realize the length of your day if you're teaching, then you're getting up at 5 in the morning, you're getting to school by 6:30, maybe earlier.
That's about right.
And then the school day ends at 2:30 or 3. You're midstream at this point. You still got another couple hours of work to do.
I like to call it, and this is what I've always called it, especially the last couple of years. I call it the last classroom of the day. You know,
Yeah.
when you go in that practice field, to me, that's just a classroom for us as coaches. And so that's you're right. I'm an average 12 to 15 hours a day, easily, pretty much all the time.
It's a long day.
So it's a long day. But you choose. It's not when you have the job that we have, and we love to pour into kids, and
Right.
you're playing, and it's not really what I consider a job. It's just it's a mission field. So
Well, and the additional monies that are offered for coaching don't really justify the extra hours. You're doing it, like you just said, you're doing it because it's a mission. You want to mentor young men and women, whoever's, whatever sport you're doing, you want to be a role model to them. And so I just love that. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. Our guest, Mark Whitley, Coach Whitley. He is the athletic director at George Walton Academy. I kind of jumped in there, so go ahead and continue your career. So then you go down to Statesboro?
So I went to Statesboro for a year, and actually, Mark, I got out of education for 1 year. My dad was a bread man for 37 years, and that's how I paid my way through college. I would run vacation bread routes in the summer.
Okay.
My dad was very smart. He knew that he didn't have any money to send me to college, but he said, "You're going to work." And so basically, the money that I made in the summer paid for my college.
Pay your own
so
way.
It was great. I mean, it just worked out perfect. And so I did that for a year, went to Chattanooga, and I guess probably that 1 year away, probably grew more spiritual that 1 year being away. So later that year, probably in March, a good friend of mine named Steve Brooks, who now coaches at Clark Central, his father-in-law is the famous Billy Henderson at Clark Central, a long-time Georgia coach, said, "You want to get back into education?" I said, "Absolutely." And so I thought I was going back to Statesboro. And he said, "No, you're going to go to Athens to Clark Central." So we moved back to Athens, Ginger and I, and Haley was born. She was probably maybe a year old at that time. And we went to Bernie Harris Lyons Middle School, teaching every day at the middle school for 5 years, and I coached at Clark Central for football and track.
How long were you there for?
For 5 years. Left there, came to Monroe in '92. I was an assistant coach for 1 year under Coach Lamb, who was a long-time great coach at Commerce, and then came to Monroe, and then was at Georgia. And of course, all the Lamb boys that are still coaching now. I think his oldest son is the head coach at Anderson College. We have a great family relationships with them. But I was there as the head football coach, athletic director. I coached I taught 5 classes a day. If the grass got cut, we cut it.
You were wearing every hat that was to be worn.
Well, that's just the way it was and the way
Yeah.
it should be, I think. A lot of times today, some of these younger coaches are, I'm not going to say they're spoiled, but they're spoiled. They don't know what we did. But I was there for 7 years, and then in '99, I chose to not be a head coach anymore. And I think I'm a really good Indian. I mean, there's a lot of chiefs.
Yeah.
I think I'm a really good assistant coach. So went to Parkview High School in Lilburn and was there for 18 years.
And you guys had some stellar
We killed it.
performances there.
We did. I was talking to a couple of players just the other day. We were talking about some old times, and it's really good to get together. But Jeffrey Rancourt was a sophomore when I went
That's right.
there.
Think of that. Yeah.
And he was there now, and he's going to be the new announcer for the Braves this year. So that's
He's
really
good.
cool.
He's good.
a great kid.
Yeah,
But
fantastic on the Brown.
So in year 2017, I retired. I kind of Gwinnett was going to a different direction on their athletic director. If we had to choose between coaching and being an administrator, and I have a master's in health studies. I have an educational specialist in leadership. So I mean, I have all the credentials, but I want to be around the kids. And so I said, no, I'm not going to sit behind the desk. I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I want to go.
You want to be
coach.
out doing it.
Absolutely. So I got hired at George Walton Academy in 2017. Been there ever since.
I remember the day they brought you on. It was a big deal. It was a big splash. It was bringing in some high power. What were some of your coaching roles in your tenure at Parkview? What did you do? What were some of the roles that you had there?
So basically, I ran the weight room. I was a strength and conditioning guy.
Okay.
So that's what I did every single day. Ran the weight room there. Had a great time. I was the defensive line coach for the football team.
Okay.
I was didn't have to coach wrestling there. A couple of my great friends, Dennis Stromey, Tom Bugles, were were the wrestling coaches at Parkview. Then they were a powerhouse in wrestling. I tell you, we had really good athletics all over every single sport at
Oh
Parkview.
yeah, no, that was premier.
And so I didn't do that, but I was the head track coach. We actually, so kind of backing up a little bit, in 1989, Ken Chandler was the head track coach at Clark Central. I was an assistant. We took 7 kids to Jefferson and won state track meet in 1989.
Wow.
And so that was that was my first experience as a state championship coach. 20 years later, as the head coach at Parkview, we won the first Gwinnett County boys state championship in track and field.
That is so impressive.
We scored about 80 points and killed it.
Wow.
We had some great kids. And a lot of those kids are still coaching now, as a matter of fact.
I love, and that's when you cast this net of influence, and then to see all the people that follow in your footsteps, or like you talked about earlier, it's something that there's something about coaching that you'll see fathers and you'll see their kids get into it, the grandkids, and I think it's because they see not only is it a rewarding career, but you see the positive benefits of what you're doing.
Absolutely,
it's a career that is influencing and impacting so many young people that then. You're revered and talked about for years, if not decades, of the impact it's made. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. Our guest, Coach Marc Whitley. He is the athletic director at George Walton Academy. When we come back, we're going to learn more about his time at GWA. Stick around.
Make sure your diesel is ready for every season by stopping in at Leadfoot Diesel. Their technicians have many years of combined experience to keep your Cummins, Power Stroke, and Duramax running the way it should. Plus, they can improve fuel mileage, perform upgrades, AC repair, and they offer tires, wheels, lift kits, and more. Diesel owners from all over the country trust Leadfoot Diesel, 320 Mayfield Drive in Monroe. Stop in or go to leadfootdiesel.com.
Covington Ford has something for everyone, from the power and comfort of a brand new F-150 to the family-friendly Explorer or the trail-ready Bronco. Covington Ford wants to be your #1 local Ford dealer by offering no haggle, below invoice pricing, and interest rates as low as 0% for 60 months. We believe your adventure should be limitless, not your coverage, so we're giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all new Ford inventory. Come check us out in person or visit us online at covingtonford.net. Your next journey starts at Covington Ford.
Double D Plumbing is a local, owned, licensed, and insured plumbing company in Loganville. You can reach Double D Plumbing at 770-466-8370. They have the ability to take on any plumbing job regardless of size or difficulty, with experience in all phases of plumbing, including commercial and residential, tankless heaters, sewer cameras, and drain cleaning. Call Craig Shepard at 770-466-8370 or visit them on the web at ddplumbinggeorgia.com. You're going to like the way they flow.
Hey, this is Doug.
And this is Robbie.
We own and operate Foy Tree Service.
When you need tree cutting, stump grinding, lot clearing, mulching, firewood, and more, call Foy Tree Service.
Serving Morgan County and surrounding area since 1987.
With top quality service and fair prices, we take pride in our work, and we do everything to make sure that you are a happy customer.
That's Foy Tree Service. Call us at 706-342-8733.
That's 706-342-TREE.
And welcome back, Marc MaMain, our guest, Coach Marc Whitley. He is the athletic director at George Walton Academy, learning about his history, his background, how he got into coaching, and his storied career. Coach, let's talk about that. So the impact made not just on athletes who then go on to do other stuff, but maybe the impact made on athletes who then say, hey, I want to do what Coach Whitley was doing. It made such a move on me. Tell us some stories about that.
Well, I got to be honest with you, but I don't want to talk about myself. That's just not what I do. But before we even talk about that, there's so many coaches in my career that have made such an impact in my life that I kind of model when I'm on the practice field, or model when I'm in leadership roles. And Billy Henderson, I told you, was one. Steve Brooks is one of my best friends. Cecil Flo was the head coach at Parkview. There's just so many other coaches that I've come in contact with that we've shared, and our kids have grown. There was one group for a long time when we were at Parkview. There's about 35 of us that every summer we went on vacation together.
Wow!
I mean, we would take up an entire condo, and with families and our kids, and so our kids just grew up together, and that's just a cool vibe. As you grow up and you share responsibility, like the old saying, it takes a village to raise children. Well, that's kind of what we did, and so. That was good stuff. Some kids, I was talking to you in the break. This morning I was watching the news. My wife called me in, and Josh Porter, who is a coach at Milton High School. He was on the news this morning. He is the National Adaptive PE Teacher of the Year.
Wow.
He has taken a lot of those special ed kids, and those he calls them exceptional, and they are exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
The exceptional kids, he's taken them to France, he's taken them to Ireland. I mean, they're powerlifters. And he's taught them how to lift in the weight room. Those kids lift with the football team in the mornings. It's just a cool thing, and just the influence he's having on those kids' lives that'll last a lifetime. It's funny. No matter where we go, and of course I'm back home now. Monroe's home, so I'm back home. And no matter where I go, I've grown to know a lot of people and been around a lot of people. But you see former players. We've had several former players in the gym recently. Carlos Freeman was a play for us at Clark Central. His kid's a 7th grader at Athens Academy. He just happened to see me. Got to see him. This past, I guess it was a couple of days ago, I saw Kevin Carr, who was in Potluck. I was eating breakfast, and he said, "What's up, Coach Whitley?" And the Carr brothers. Now, when I was at Monroe as the head wrestling coach, there were 5 brothers, and they were like the first 5 weight classes in a row that would go on the mat and wrestle for me. Of course, their mother would be up in the stands and nervous as a cat with all 5 boys wrestling for me. But just stuff like that, and people you see that have been real successful in life, both not necessarily maybe in their business, but also as dads and as husbands. It's just it's a great feeling.
Well, and I think sometimes we set that bar for success to always be relative to financial success, and that's not the case.
Right.
Success means that you achieved your goals and that you're happy. And that can look like, I tell the story, the most successful person I ever know was my wife's grandpa, who cut hair from the age of 14 to 87 years old and lived in a humble place, but the happiest dude. He accomplished everything he ever wanted to accomplish in life. And so, again, when I think the influence that coaches have on young people, it's different than anything else. Because it's not just physical, it's mental. It's discipline,
Absolutely.
right? It has so many facets to what's being taught. So I love it. These stories of the reach that people have had that connected you, and then the reach that you've had on young people for them to advance themselves. It just, I appreciate you for that. And I remember when George Walton Academy hired you, I didn't know much about you. I knew you had a storied career, and it was kind of like I said, it was like bringing in a rock star free agent out of retirement to come in and be the athletic director. But the first thing that I noticed that you did when you came into George Walton Academy is, in like you described, you're maybe a strength, wrestling, football, track and field. You looked at every sport.
Yes, sir.
And you're like, hey, the high tides raise all ships. All these sports are going to be, we're going to pay attention to it. Take us through that. What was it like when you first came there? How did you go and start to identify maybe where your strong programs were and the programs that needed help?
Well, George Walton has always been very strong athletically. When I was a Monroe athlete from 76 to 1980, if you go back and look at those years at George Walton Academy, they won the state championship in football in 1979, had some great players on that team. I remember going in the old gym, which is no longer. We're about to make it into a performing arts center. But I remember going into that gym as a high school student just to watch Bill and Bob play basketball, whose father recently just passed away, was the head coach there for a long time. Coach was there for a while, and both of them played basketball. A lot of friends of mine was there, but so they've always had a great tradition of athletics.
Yep.
What we tried to do when I got there was to kind of put everybody on an even playing field, and and I am a football guy. To be honest with you, if I had to pick a sport that I like the best, my wife would probably hate this, but I love track. I just love track.
I know you. When I was an assistant coach and I would be up on the higher field and you were down in the lower field, right, I could hear you from 800 yards away, and I could tell you were loving what you were doing.
Absolutely.
So you're not just the AD, but here you are. You're being the track and field coach, and I think you were working with a young group at the time, and these were probably elementary school kids.
Right. We had a youth sports. That's the cool thing that George Walton has offered me, is to be a part of the youth programs. And I have a guy that's on our staff now. Scott Jackson is my assistant coach, but he's kind of in charge of our youth program at George Walton. But the fact that we can get our hands on those young kids, and even though it's to some people it may still be daddy ball, but to be honest with you, we kind of bring them in and kind of coach them up a little bit and try to put them in the right direction to do the same thing that we're doing. and I want all of them to feel that their sport is just as important as anybody else's. Another thing, Mark, this is the other side of Coach Whitley that some folks may not know, but when I was in high school, I was in every single literary competition for like boys for music. My mom and dad made sure I enjoyed music, but and I love the theater. And so, part of our job is one-act play, literary meet competition. And right now we have some other sports that are what I would consider not traditional sports. We have esports. We have clay target shooting, which is probably the fastest growing sport in the state of Georgia, outside of girls flag football, which I don't throw any secrets out, but we're kind of kicking that idea around for maybe another
That's
year
getting
or two.
popular.
Very popular.
What about the bass fishing? Do y'all still have the bass fishing?
We don't have bass fishing right now. If we get a couple of dads who got a bass boat and wants to go down to the lake, we can for sure pick that up. But that's a big sport right now, also in GHSA and GIAA. But one of the big sports that I fell in love with at Parkview, and then Dr. Dolan actually hired Scott Jackson from California, and when we started our lacrosse program about 6 or 7 years ago, it's just exploded.
It's a good program now, isn't it?
But our boys were their back-to-back state champions, and our girls have won 2 out of the last 3 years. So
wow,
it's just been, and I love it. I absolutely love the sport.
Yeah,
it's kind of taken over what I consider, to be honest with you, some of the big skill kids. We don't even have spring football hardly anymore. We put them in lacrosse, we put them in other specialty sports, whether it be the baseball or the golf or the track or the soccer, and then they still get that training that they need on the lacrosse field. That kind of encompasses all of it.
You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. Our guest, Coach Marc Whitley, the athletic director of George Walton Academy. Coach, with the Rock Lobsters coming to Athens, any chance we got an ice hockey team come from George Walton Academy?
You know what? We don't. We didn't have. We had that at Parkview. At Parkview, Gwinnett County had a rollerblade league,
rollerblade hockey team.
I had several of my kids' friends played in it, but I've not been there yet. My family has been, but I've not been to watch them play.
Well, if y'all start a hockey team, I want you pull me out of time. I'll coach that team. All right, that's my wheelhouse.
Okay, great.
No, but
who won last night? Did Boston come back win in overtime? I was watching.
Yeah, we went to overtime shootout. I think it was Tampa Bay may have won. Did you see the goalies fight? The goalies got into a fight.
I did see that.
What a great game!
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for a national televised game, they could have picked a better game.
Well, that's just like lacrosse. I would have played lacrosse because in my brain, I can go out there and be aggressive. If I get a little crazy and get a penalty, it's a 2-minute penalty. I get a little rest.
Get to catch your breath for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
No, but it was interesting to see too how you did. I think prior to your arrival, maybe there were some sports that were neglected, and when you got there, everybody had equal attention and love. You were attending the soccer games, even though maybe it wasn't your wheelhouse, but you were attending them to watch to see what was taking place. And it's a complicated deal because schools, yes, you want to perform academically. That is number one. But people also want to see a good athletic program.
Right. And we make it a point, and it's easier now. I did it when I had 3 kids that were young in school. Our children this year will be 40, 28, and 26. But even then, when they were little, we carried them everywhere I went. They were always with me on the sidelines, never backed up. But even now, we don't have kids anymore. We have grandkids, but I go to everything. But we usually are there either home and away. And I just want the kids to know I don't go just because I think I need to be seen. I just go because I love watching them play.
Yeah,
I mean, these kids
enjoy the environment.
It's something that I try to push in our classrooms with our teachers. I tell them every year at the beginning of the year, if you want to see why your kid is performing in your classroom the way he is, get outside that 50-minute period that you have them every day. Go watch them in the band. Go watch them on the field of play. Go watch them in a play that's in the theater. And then you might know, why this one time they made us see, or why this one time they had a bad day. And if you know them outside that 50-minute period every single day, you get involved in their life and invest in their situation. That's when you got them.
Well, and I also like how you have an emphasis on being sure they're well-rounded. So it's the arts, it's the athletics, it's the academics, it's everything encompassing that you have a vision and an idea of what's taking place, and that's what makes it so special. And look, this is a competitive environment. You've got elite schools. You've got Prince Avenue right down the road. You've got Athens Academy. There's Bethlehem Christian Academies. Loganville Christian. So that sector of schools is not just growing. They're all becoming more and more competitive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially BCA. They're right there on the 316, and they've got close to 1,100 students now.
It's a big campus. Yeah. track and field, I know you said that's your passion. Something I want to talk about that this may be kind of off the cusp a little bit, but last week we had a couple principals in from the various public schools in our area. And something that's important to me is the nutrition and the exercise for young people. And I'm curious, from a private school aspect, you have a little bit more say on that than, say, a public school would, right? You can probably change the regimen to be a little bit more demanding as it pertains to physical activity. Do you think that there should be a greater emphasis placed on, and let's just talk about the public school system, being that you had experience with that, a greater emphasis placed upon young people having to perform more physically, because we have a massive problem when it comes to childhood obesity and adolescent diabetes. It is skyrocketing.
Well, we fight it. So two things. You mentioned tracks. I want to mention Kinsey Snell, our cross-country coach and our head track coach now. I stepped away 2 years ago for her to take that position. She is a fitness fanatic. And as a matter of fact, during the track season and during cross-country season, she will make lunches for all of our athletes, so she'll know at least one day a week.
You get a good meal.
They'll get a good meal from a nutrition standpoint. We have some things in our weight room that's called critical reload, that after we have, when we lift in the mornings or when we lift during the day, that we have stuff that's available there for the kids to get that protein, back in that,
like a protein drink or something like that. Yeah,
back in their system, and not put the sugar in.
Yep.
So we do that, but along those lines, we're always fighting, and this is a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing, but we're always fighting academics, because at our school, it's such a high academic school with the AP classes and with the honors classes, it's difficult to get a weightlifting class in. The state requires a semester of health, it requires a semester of PE, and technically speaking, that's it. If you get a kid that's also in the band, it's the same thing. Band's fighting to get their time, to get their kids to come and play. If they're in the band and they're also an athlete, which we have a lot of those, it's tough to get. You only got 5 classes. 4 classes you got to get academically, but they'll always get those extra 2 classes. They'll want to get different classes in the AP classes to get college credit when they leave. So sometimes we're fighting to get them in the weight room, period.
And I've beat this drum a bunch, and I don't know if I'll ever get my way. I mean, it's something I'm going to keep looking at. Is I'm coming from the perspective of, if you are in school, and again, I'm going to speak public schools. If you're in school and you are not participating in a sport, there should be a mandatory 30 minutes a day of regimen exercise. I'm not talking recess, go out and kick a ball against a wall. That just does nothing. I'm talking 30 minutes of discipline, kind of what the Koreans do, where they implement martial arts into their program. It doesn't have to be martial arts. I'm just saying it's a regimen exercise, because we have an issue in our country, and it's something that, when I saw you on the track and field with the kids and they're running, not every kid wants to play football. Not every kid wants to play soccer. Not every kid wants to play baseball. Everybody can do track and field.
Absolutely.
Everybody can run.
It's a lifetime sport.
That's it. It's a lifetime sport.
Absolutely.
So, I was just kind of curious.
I'll go one step further with that. Sure. When I was at Parkview, we used to really strongly encourage our kids to be involved in our ROTC program because of the discipline piece in the ROTC program. We had at Parkview, it was Marine-based. And so we had a lot of kids that really got a lot out of that program as well. So there's all kind of stuff out there that you want to get the kids in, but don't have so much time.
I know. Yeah, the days are limited. I get it. It's tough to squeeze it all in. Coach, finally, what are some upcoming things that you want us to look for, whether it be for George Walton Academy or yourself?
A couple things right now. We're finishing up winter sports. Matter of fact, I've been there all morning getting ready set up. We're hosting this will be the 3rd or 4th year in a row, we're hosting the state dual wrestling tournament tomorrow.
Wow. Okay. Who all attends that?
Well, all the teams in the state that want to be in the dual tournament.
Okay.
We had 7. We had I think 13 originally, but with the weather, we've had to move it from the 24th when it rains out.
Gotcha.
Which was out a couple weeks ago, to tomorrow. It'll be all day tomorrow. There's only 6 teams coming, so we'll host that again tomorrow. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, we're hosting our region basketball tournament at George Walton Academy.
Okay.
And we like to put on a show. In the break, we were talking about Super Dave, and like to put on the show, and he's all fired up about those 3 days of cooking and whatever.
He won the hamburger contest, Coach.
He did.
Best hamburger.
Yeah, we secretly had a competition going on for our Friday night football, and Dave won
Best hamburger
By
in the
far,
football business.
yes.
If you come to George Walton Academy, I'll tell you the two things are going to happen. You're going to get some hospitality. We're going to love on you. Then we're going to try our best to beat your brains out. But we'll also feed you good. We'll promise
We
you
like
that.
to eat.
Yeah.
We love to eat. I promise you. So that'll kind of finish up the winter stuff. The swim team on the 9th will go to the state swim meet on the 9th, and then wrestling this weekend will be up at Riverside for the state individual traditional wrestling tournament. Then that'll kind of wrap things up for winter, and then we'll be full blown
Soccer, lacrosse, all that right around the corner.
Soccer, lacrosse, baseball, track, boys and girls tennis, and golf.
Jeez, no rest for the weary. When do you sleep, Coach?
When I die. That's what I told everybody. You can sleep when you're dead. My players can probably quote that. But I usually get about 8 hours a night. I'll go to bed at 9:30.
You need it, yeah, because your day is
5:36.
spread thin.
Yeah.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. I know you're probably heading back to go get somebody in line over there, but please tell everyone we said hi, and please come back in the near future.
I'd love to. Thanks so much. It's been a fun time.
A lot of fun. You listen to the Marc MaMain Show. When we come back, who is next? My schedule's all out of whack. Is it Jason Black? Is that who's
So,
on?
yes, we have Jason Black.
Candidate for Georgia
Yep.
Senate. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back in just a minute.
This is Q92.3 WMOQ FM, Bostwick, Monroe, Madison. Your home for real country.
Looking for a deal on a new 2025 Ford F-150? Then come to last year's #1 retail volume Ford dealer in the nation, Akins Ford in Winder. Hi, this is Brad Akins, and through January 31st, take $15,000 off the MSRP on remaining 2025 Ford F-150 XLTs and Trimmers. Stock number 89625, MSRP 68758, with approved financing through Ford Credit and your 1995 renewer trade. Dealer retains factory rebates plus government fees. See dealer for details. Claim based on Ford's 2025 retail sales report. Visit us today at akinsford.com.
If you're in the construction business, you're going to need a dumpster at some point in time, and that's why you need to call Atha Equipment Rental in Monroe, now offering 20 and 30-yard cans. Atha Equipment Rental now offers a complete line of landscape and construction equipment like tools, trenchers, floor sanders, jackhammers, and so much more, like rentals for your parties with tables, chairs, popcorn machines, Dunkin' booths, and more. Call Jason Atha at 770-207-6041. That's Atha Equipment Rental on East Spring Street in Monroe.
Roll-Off Systems of Statham, they're on a roll. They offer dumpsters in all sizes, trash compactors, porta potties, and new combo cans. Existing sites are new building sites. Trash and waste disposal, it's their business. Locally owned and operated. Call Roll-Off Systems today. 770-725-ROLL. That's 770-725-ROLL. Or go to rolloffsystems.com.
Have you been putting off auto repairs? Do you want a body shop you know and trust? Go see Auto Correct Collision. Auto Correct is a family-owned and operated collision center with over 45 years of experience. Their equipment and training exceed industry standards. No repair is too big or small. Ask about the special drawings and mention this ad for a discount. Visit Auto Correct Collision at 409 Mayfield Drive or call them at 770-207-1241.
These days, many think that truth is relative. You have your truth and I have mine. Speaking your truth means staying true to who you are. It may be how you feel, what you believe, or how you identify. Truth, by definition, means conforming to a fact. Two contradictory ideas can't each both be true. One may be true, one wrong. Or both may be wrong, but they can't both be true. To say so is logical nonsense. So with all the fake news and opinions flying around, how can we know what's true? At Jesus' trial, Pilate cynically asked, "What is truth?" And Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He's not claiming to be one truth, but the truth. Soon after Jesus spoke these words, he rose from the dead. That's enough to convince me that Jesus tells the truth. This is Bryant Wright, speaking right from my heart.
To subscribe to devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
And welcome back, Marc MaMain. Our next guest, Jason Black. He is a candidate for Georgia State Senate, District 47. Jason, thank you for joining us today, sir.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. You and I crossed paths quite a bit on the trail. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your career, your background, and what got you into politics.
Yeah. So I was in law enforcement for almost 14 years, back in the early 2000s, and then decided to go to law school about 8 years into being in law enforcement, and went to law school. I was a police detective, and I've been practicing law for 8 years. I've got a law firm in Jefferson called Weinstein and Black. That's a general practice firm.
And what's the motivation? So your law enforcement, was there something that you were seeing that was missing on the legal side, or just you're thinking, hey, you know what, I'm time for a career change? Because that's kind of an unusual path that you took to get into law.
Yeah, it was really more just to further my career, right? I got to a point in my law enforcement career where I had kind of reached the peak of where I was going to be until, I got older. I was still quite a bit of a young man at that point, and so was just looking for opportunities to further my career and better my family's opportunities. So I decided to step out and go to law school, which, of course, has just further opened even more doors since then, and kind of led me down to the path of running for office.
It's very impressive. Like I said, it's not an easy feat to pass the bar, get your law degree, and that's something to be proud of. Talk about the motivation to get involved in politics, because this is not for the weary, right? Especially you're a business owner now, and to step away from that business and put your time and effort and energy into running a race. What was the motivation to get involved?
Well, I think the biggest motivation, right, is we need some fresh voices and fresh ideas in the state legislature to kind of move the state forward. We're going to have a new governor, a new lieutenant governor, and there's going to be a lot of changes. I looked at it as an opportunity to kind of step out and get back in public service, which I've always been a part of, whether it was through different nonprofit organizations and just being involved in the communities at large. But just an opportunity to take my past experiences and life experiences and problem-solving skills that I have obtained over the last 20 years and really be able to take it to the state capitol and represent District 47 in a really good way.
What are some of your priorities? What, if you win this race, what are you campaigning on?
Well, look, I think, as all conservatives do, right, we're concerned about protecting our families, our schools, and our small businesses in all respects. But, even more so, being a true advocate for the district. I think we've lost some of our way of governing from the bottom up, and there's a lot of governing from the top down today, and I hope to be able to take the relationships that I've built over the last 20 years with local elected officials, understand really what needs the needs of the district and needs of the local communities, and be able to go down and look for ways and opportunities to better our situation back at home, as opposed to, just pushing forward on legislation that may not really be a priority where I'm from.
You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. Our guest, Jason Black. He's a candidate for Georgia State Senate District 47. Jason, do you feel you have a unique perspective? I don't know of many candidates that have prior law enforcement experience. I can think of some, but I just can't think of many right now in this region. Do you think that gives you a unique perspective as it pertains to if you win this election and what you could advocate for under the Gold Dome?
Yeah, look, public safety is going to be a huge importance to me. I hope when I win to have an opportunity to maybe serve on the Public Safety Committee and have an opportunity to protect those that are protecting us. I mean, I didn't get out of law enforcement because I didn't want to be in law enforcement. And, quite honestly, I'm still friends with a lot of guys that are still in law enforcement. And I think it's important, especially in this day and age where people are attacking law enforcement. My heart hurts for the Gwinnett County Police Department and that whole community for losing the officer yesterday and having the other one shot. My brother actually is a sheriff's deputy in Gwinnett County. And to know that, not only that I still have family in law enforcement, but really good friends, I think we have to have somebody that's protecting their interests and trying to better their way of life just as much as anybody else.
Yeah, no, that's tough. Just we talked about at the beginning of the show today, just devastating. small business. You are a small business owner as you have your own law firm. What about that? Is there something that you see now that you've gone through the process of opening a business? I'm sure there's all kinds of red tape when you're opening a law firm, things that you have to qualify and boxes you have to check. Does that give you a different perspective, too, of what we can do to continue to be sure that Georgia is a friendly business or friendly state to business?
Yeah, look, I think it's, the idea that we're working on income tax right now at the Capitol and trying to get rid of the income tax is going to be a huge deal for everybody. But I would like to see even us doing, we talk about the corporate welfare across Georgia and things that are companies that get tax credits. But, I think a lot of small businesses could really benefit from some of that tax credit mentality to help invest further into their communities. I tell people all the time, come April every year, I write a sizable check to the IRS and the Georgia Department of Revenue, and generally I could hire another 2 or 3 people inside my own law firm if I wasn't having to make such sizable payments to pay those taxes. So I think looking at opportunities to help small businesses reinvest and be able to hire and grow their local economies is something we should be looking at a state level.
I agree. I think when you look at a small business and they are typically not able to take advantage of some of the carve-outs in tax incentives because those apply to larger corporations or real niche corporations, it creates an unlevel playing field, and I find that frustrating. I've seen it across many facets of small businesses that are going against larger corporations, and the larger corporations have a distinct advantage when they maybe have a tax break that the mom and pop doesn't get to qualify for. So I agree, that's a big deal, and Georgia is a relatively friendly state to do business in, but I still think there's room for improvement there, and so we need people that have small business experience in these seats. I think that's critically important. Jason, tell our listeners how they can learn more about you. Do you have a website, Facebook, social media, and do you have any speaking engagements or events coming up?
Yeah, I've got, so our website is votejasonblack.org. We are on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at Vote Jason Black on both of those social media outlets. And as far as events are concerned, luckily I missed the ice storm and snowstorm. I went out of town last week for a friend's 50th birthday to somewhere more tropical.
You left at a great time.
I know, right? Yeah. But we're putting some events together right now. I know we're going to be having some fundraising events there's one fundraising event coming up at the Athens Country Club here in a few weeks at the beginning of March, and we're working on finishing filling up the schedule for speaking events for February. So follow along on our website and our Facebook page, and we make sure we post all of that as we get it all scheduled out, and people can follow along with us.
And Jason, in the final minute, I'll let you have the last minute. If you don't mind, just share with the listeners where the geography of District 47, the counties or whereabouts that that involves, and any last closing comments you want to make in trying to earn somebody's vote.
Yeah, so the district is all of Madison County, half of Jackson County, half of Barrow County, and a sliver of Clark County, that northeast portion of Clark County. And what I would tell people is, if you're looking for somebody that is honest, that has integrity, that works harder than most, and really knows how to get the job done, then you want to vote for me come May 19th. And I look forward to the challenges and being able to represent District 47 in years to come.
Jason, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us, and we wish you the best of luck on the trail.
Thank you for having me on. You have a great day.
Absolutely. That's Jason Black, candidate for Georgia State Senate District 47. That is a little bit north of here, but we cover some of those areas. A little bit of Jackson, Barrow, Madison, Clark County. That's our wheelhouse. We've got plenty of listeners up there. So check his website out if you want to learn more about Jason Black. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. When we come back, who's next? Is it Stacy McCullers?
Stacy
Our
McCullers.
rock star real
Yes.
estate agent. All right. You're not going to want to miss this, folks. Hold tight. Yeah, stick around.
Clint Black on the Back on the Blacktop tour.
Walking in the moonlight, seeing nothing but the dead.
Experience the country living legend, Clint Black.
I'm leaving here a better man.
Thursday, February 26th at the Classic Center Theater. Tickets are on sale now at ClassicCenter.com.
Saturday night, everything's right with the summer coming.
Clint Black, produced by Pepper Entertainment.
When it comes to tasty treats, the only place you need to be is Stone Mountain Pecan Company. Offering high-quality Georgia pecans, other nuts, dried fruits, coffees, and candies, Stone Mountain Pecan has it all. And the best part, it's all online at stonemountainpecan.com. Or take it all in person and visit their country store on Highway 78 in Monroe. Stone Mountain Pecan Company. Something for everyone. Eat well, be happy.
Youngblood Tractor in Madison is proud to be your local Massey Ferguson dealer. Massey Ferguson has been building straightforward, dependable, and affordable tractors and farm equipment for 175 years. Massey Ferguson right now has the best lineup in their 175-year history, and there has never been a better time to upgrade to a Massey Ferguson tractor. Youngblood Tractor carries the complete lineup of Massey Ferguson tractors ranging from the 22.5 horsepower subcompact all the way up to the 130 horsepower mid-range utility tractor. And with one of the largest trailer inventories in the state, you'll always have a way to get it home. Youngblood Tractor also carries the complete lineup of hay equipment, including the legendary Massey Ferguson 1840 square baler, as well as implements like rotary cutters, batwing cutters, box blades, grapples, pallet forks, and more. There are great financing promotions to take advantage of, so give us a call today at 706-342-2242. Youngblood Tractor also has experienced parts and service departments to take care of you after the sale. Visit us online at www.youngbloodtractor.com or stop by and see us at 1600 Athens Highway in Madison.
Welcome back, Marc MaMain. Our next guest, Stacy McCullers, real estate agent with Malcolm & Malcolm Realty Professionals here in Monroe, Georgia. Miss Stacy, how are you?
I'm good, Mark. How are you?
Are you staying warm out there? It is chilly today.
It is, and yes, I have enjoyed the snow and ice from a distance.
You know, it's fun for about a day, and then after that, you're like, I don't want to see it anymore. So one day a year is fun. Is plenty for me to get out there and enjoy the snow. I don't know about you, but that's my limit. Yes.
That's about all it took. I had my yes, I have a 4-year-old nephew, and we hit through some snowballs, and that was about the extent of it.
That's it. Yep. Stacy, tell our listeners a little bit about what drew you into a career in real estate.
Well, about 14 years ago, I was having a conversation with Don, my husband, and he mentioned that if I was interested, he would like for me to try to get my real estate license, and I immediately fell in love with the idea of helping people. There are so many different circumstances why people buy and sell real estate. And I've done some commercial listings. I've done some land and farms, some residence for, family residence type sale and resale. And every listing or purchase is different. And I just fell in love with it, and it just took off.
You're right. No two transactions are the same. It's the different things, whether it's the property itself, the buyers, the sellers, there's always some variety to it that makes it interesting, sometimes challenging, but always makes it interesting and keeps it unique every single time. And every time when something closes, it's rewarding, not just the financial side, but the sense of accomplishment of getting somebody into their dream home or helping somebody move a piece of property that meant something to them. So I see the attraction.
Well, and there's always a different circumstance. It may be that it's a first-time home buyer. It may be an 80-year-old who has sold her home she raised her family in and is downsizing. There are always circumstances, and like you said, each transaction is different, and you just get to know the people and the process and that it involves, and it's just something I have enjoyed doing, and I hope my business reflects that.
Well, you're very good at what you do, and I know you have a very successful following. What are some of the trends you're seeing right now? I know the real estate market was just on steroids a couple of years ago. It's slowed down a little bit now, but it's still rock solid. So what are you seeing some of the trends in the industry?
Well, right now I am seeing that people have been a little bit nervous this past real estate quarter that we've been in, but I think that with the interest rates dropping a little, and when this weather breaks and the sun starts shining, I have got lots of listings coming up. I've got lots of buyers calling, wanting to know, what's coming on the market, and I think we're going to see a busier season. I've already had lots of phone calls in the past month, and lots of different people saying they want to put their house back on the market who, maybe in October, November, December, kind of said, let's just hold off until spring. So I think we're going to see a trend upward is what I'm hoping for, and certainly my phone reflects that. I hope I'm right about that.
Yeah, but that's good grassroots information, because that's in my opinion, we can look at statistics and data all day long, but if the phone's not ringing, none of it makes any sense, right? It's all about, are people calling to either look for a piece of property, or like you said, are they calling because it's time for them to sell? And I know as we come into the spring and into early summer, this is a really good time of year, traditionally, for real estate. The markets, though, it's interesting because Monroe, as we talk, downtown especially, has always been recently has been a very hot market. But there's still some value, in my opinion, if you're looking to buy a home and you're willing to travel just a bit, maybe get to the outskirts, whether it be into Morgan County or even beyond in some of the more rural areas. And that's what you see happening. Look at all the neighborhoods and homes that are popping up out on the east side of Walton County over here in Good Hope and in Gratis, in that area.
Well, and that's correct. And there are some new constructions. And for first-time home buyers, it's a wonderful concept to get into a new construction if you're able, and if you're able to get that interest rate and you have your down payment, which is so important. But also there are some fixer-uppers. And when, depending on what stage you are in your life, if that fixer-upper needs some work and it's on the outskirts of town, you have so much value going in if you can afford to do the fixer-upper route. And if you can't, that new construction sometimes has appeal, or that resale. Like we've said, each transaction is just so different. And I do agree that when you're moving into this out of town, not downtown Monroe, but just on the outskirts, you do get a little bit more of a variety and maybe a little bit more of a price break.
Yeah, a little more bang for your
buck. Because downtown Monroe is so hot.
Yeah, no doubt. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. Our guest, Stacey McCullers. She is a real estate agent with Malcolm and Malcolm Realty Professionals here in Monroe, Georgia, but she also services the surrounding area. And that's, going back to the idea of a fixer-upper, I am the kind of guy that wants to buy something ready to go. Fixer-upper's not in my DNA. I've got buddies who can look at a house that is dilapidated or in need of severe repairs, and they can have the vision to do it. Not so much me. I want to get something that's just ready to go, because it's hard for me to envision how to do that. But you're right. That's where the value can be. What about, Stacey, if somebody is coming to you looking for investment property, are there any opportunities in the Walton County and surrounding area to make a purchase that yields a decent capitalization rate or a decent return on their investment, or do they have to go beyond and farther out?
Well, we have investment property from time to time. I don't have that many investors that I am able to send stuff. I have investors reaching out to me all the time, and each one is maybe like if it's a mobile home or if it's a cabin in the woods. Mm-hmm. Obviously, those are two different animals. Sure. I have one investor that bought a cabin out on Bold Springs Road a few years ago, and he paid like $140,000 for it. And now, if it were on the market remodeled as it is on 5 acres on Bold Springs, it would probably bring somewhere between $450,000 and $500,000.
Wow, so he's going to be cash flowing good on that. Yeah.
Well, and that's a great idea of an investment. But I also have another situation where I have a mobile home, and those are a little bit tricky. Investors call, they want to talk about that, and they don't move forward for one reason or another. Maybe it's the location, maybe it's the mobile home, and they don't see the return in it. So I think it just depends on what the investor needs at the time, and the location is so important, as always, in real estate. certainly.
Location, as they
Right.
say. Yeah, big deal. Stacey McCullers is our guest, real estate agent, Malcolm Realty Professionals in Monroe. Stacey, any listings that you want to feature with us on the show that you want to bring to light? I don't know if you had any queued up, so if I put you on the spot, I'm sorry, but I figured I'd give you a second to highlight anything that's in your portfolio that you want to get some extra exposure to.
Well, yes, I do, and thank you. I have a listing that is going live on Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and is on McDaniel Street in downtown Monroe. It will be listed for $650,000. It has a full finished basement. It is a 2-story with a Jack and Jill up top with hardwood floors throughout, keeping room, 2 fireplaces on about an 1.5 acre lot. I have something coming up off Double Springs Road in Alcovey Bluff. It'll be going on the market in February or early March maybe, and it'll be listed for $510,000, and it is a ranch with a bonus room, 2-car garage with a 3-car garage with room for like a golf cart, and let's see, I have.
That's a lot of house for the money. Yeah.
A lot of house in Alcovey Bluff and on McDaniel Street. And again, both of these people, both homes, both situations, they're sizing down. They're moving to smaller homes. And I have one that will be closing at the end of this week that I just want to say has been on the market. And I have a young couple who's newly engaged, and they'll be buying their first home and getting married later in the month, and so that's exciting.
Well,
and go ahead.
And I was going to jump into it. Do you have a website or somebody where if they want to learn more about the listings that you've got or how to contact you? Do you have a website they could go to, or how can they find you online?
Yes, Malcolm & Malcolm has a website, and we keep it updated, and it would showcase anything we have listed in our office. And it's Malcolm & Malcolm Realty Professionals.com.
And how would they contact you directly, Stacey?
My number is 678-859-6336. And like I always like to say, call your lender and then call me, your realtor for life. 678-859-6336.
Stacey, that's great work, and hopefully we get some extra exposure on those listings for you, and keep us posted as to what you're hearing in the market as the trends go up and down and vacillate.
Well, thank you, Mark, and I appreciate being on your show today.
Yes, ma'am. All right, tell the family I said hi. That's Stacey McCullers, real estate agent with Malcolm & Malcolm Realty Professionals. That sounds like a pretty nice house, Chastity, over in Alcovey Bluffs. That's a good neighborhood.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot of home for the money.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, no doubt. And McDaniel Street, that's a great, if you want to be downtown, close to all the hustle and bustle, that's McDaniel Street.
And Monroe is the hot spot, so
that's
if
trendy.
you're looking for a house.
These, you want to be in in the city limits of Watkinsville or Madison or even Winder or here in Monroe, you're going to pay a premium. But then the cool thing is, you can just walk to some of the restaurants, or maybe golf cart. Some of them are golf cart friendly communities.
I love that too.
Yeah, that is cool. A lot of fun. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. When we come back, who do we have when we come back?
So we have Miss Kim Wages, and we're going to talk everything Walton County Special Olympics.
She wasn't even on our list, so you squeeze her in there because we got some big stuff to share about the Walton County Special Olympics.
There's a lot of exciting
All right, this is going to be your wheelhouse.
Yes,
All
so
right.
excited.
We'll be right back in just a minute, folks.
Ladies, grab your girlfriends and plan a night out at Boss Brothers Country Store in Loganville. Southern Belle Boutique, located inside Boss Brothers, is hosting their Galentine's Day party you don't want to miss. Join us Tuesday, February 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. for a fun evening of sales, giveaways, and so much more. Because Girls Night deserves a celebration of its own. Boss Brothers, your locally owned country store at 3084 Highway 78 in Loganville. Follow us on social media for weekly deals and updates.
Hey, this is attorney Bart Bitton with Bitton & Bitton. I live and work right here in Monroe, Georgia, and I am proud to serve this area. If you've been hurt in a car accident, you don't need some out-of-town lawyer that treats you like a number. You deserve a local lawyer you can trust, someone who lives here, works here, and takes care of people. So remember this, if you're ever in a car accident, be smart, call Bart. Bitton & Bitton, local lawyers you can trust.
Looking for that perfect piece of jewelry designed just for you? At P&A Jewelers, family owned since 1976, we've been helping our customers shine for nearly 50 years. Now proudly run by second generation brother and sister team, we specialize in custom jewelry design, expert repair work, and fine jewelry for every occasion. Visit P&A Jewelers, where family tradition sparkles. Located in Loganville beside Quick Trip, or online at shoppajewelers.com. Follow us on Facebook to see what's new.
If you're selling or buying a home, you should call AM/PM Septic to inspect your septic tank. This could save you on costly repairs. AM/PM pumps your tank, fixes septic alarms, drain lines. They can fix any problem you're having with your septic tank. Call 770-231-7979. They do inspection letters. AM/PM is family owned and operated, licensed and insured company. Call David for all your septic needs. 770-231-7979.
And welcome back, Marc MaMain. Our next guest, Kim Wages. She is a friend of the program, a friend of Chastity, and anybody that's a friend of Chastity is a friend of ours. Kim, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You guys have some big things going on with the Walton County Special Olympics. Tell us what's brewing. Let's start with, what is it, a big basketball tournament, or what's taking place?
Well, yes, there is a big basketball tournament this month. Unfortunately, our state games got canceled due to the snow. But this week we have all of our elementary schools participating in our local basketball tournament. And then a little later in the month we'll have our middle schools and high schools come together for their basketball competition. So this Friday, though, is our elementary schools, and it'll be held at Meridian Park in Loganville.
And for somebody who's listening, if they want to get involved in this, are there still volunteer opportunities? Because I know, Chastity, you're heavily involved in this in the volunteer capacity. Mm-hmm. Are there opportunities for people to come up and help out?
Absolutely, yes. We would love to invite the community to come out and volunteer. And there's several ways to get involved. And we always need the extra hands. Isn't that right, Miss Wages?
That is correct. And we could definitely use some this Friday, if anybody's available Friday morning, to help with our elementary students. A few of them require some extra hands to help with some of the students. That would be great, and it wouldn't take a lot of your time, probably 2 to 3 hours.
What a great way. And this is an evening program, I'm assuming, or is it during the day?
During the day. Yeah, okay. We will start around 9:30. So if somebody wants to volunteer, getting there around 9 o'clock would be good. And then we'll be finishing up at lunchtime, between 11:30 and 12, to get everybody back to school for lunch. And Special Olympics provides lunch for the athletes on the days of competition. So we send in lunches for them to have something a little different on these special days.
What a great way to spend your Friday morning.
The kids love it.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a lot of fun.
And how do they find out more? Do you have a website? If somebody wants, do they sign up, or do they just show up? I mean, I don't know how that works. So tell us, walk us through the whole process to be sure we don't get you too many volunteers. We want to get you some.
Well, we have other opportunities besides this Friday, yes. So we'd love to have anybody that would like to. We do have a website. We also have a Facebook page, and the Facebook page, just sending us a message on that is fine, and then we can reach back out to you. So that would be probably one of the quickest ways. They're welcome to just call directly to me or to Chastity if they know her. She would know how to, get them signed up. But they can also just show up on the morning and say they'd like to help out, and we will have a volunteer sign in at the event, as we do at each of our events.
And outside of the basketball tournament events you got, just tell us in general, give us a full description of what you guys do as a whole. So just maybe walk us through what the goals of the program are, and what a year looks like. What different types of events y'all have?
Sure. Well, we do have a busy schedule. We are a year-round sports program. That's what we try to provide for our athletes, is a chance to participate in sporting events year round, and, develop some friendships along the way and develop other skills that go along with playing sports, like sportsmanship and the rules of the game. So, starting in the school year, we start out in the fall and we have softball going on. We have softball teams and bocce. And then they compete in some scrimmages, and then we go to state games in the fall, which the last few years have been held in Valdosta, Georgia, and that's a weekend event for big tournaments. And then in the winter, then locally we have bowling in November for all ages.
I remember the bowling was
we
a big
take
deal in the
about
fall.
3 days to do that, to get all of our athletes in. And then we have basketball, and we continue with bowling with certain athletes to compete in the state games. And so that's always a lot of fun, is our basketball and bowling. And that, unfortunately, that's what we missed out on with the weather. And then in the spring, so as soon as we finish up with basketball, we are beginning our planning and signing up for spring games, which are going to be April 16th and 17th. The 16th will be our middle and high schools, and the 17th will be our elementary schools. And that's all track and field and soccer. And locally, we do bocce in that as well. And then some of our athletes then go on to compete in the state summer games, which are held at Emory University in May.
That's got to be a lot of fun, too. A lot of fun. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. Our guest, Kim Wages, with the Walton County Special Olympics. And what we did, Chastity, if you notice, we started this show off with Dessa Morris for people who are not gainfully employed, to give them an opportunity to go and work. Well, if you don't want to go to work but you don't have something to do, this is another really good way to fill some spare time.
You can always volunteer.
Always volunteer.
Absolutely.
Because when you talk about all the different things that you guys have listed, it sounds to me you're going to have something to do, maybe not every week, but every month there'll be some activity for you to go participate and help out and just be a part of your community.
Yep. Kind of like
That's
Josh Porter when Mr. Whitley was here talking about how he won the adaptive coach.
Are you familiar with that when he was talking about that?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, he's doing exactly God's work.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Time well spent. So this first opportunity, if you're a listener and you want to get involved this Friday, they have a basketball tournament. This is for the elementary school age. It's going to be 9:30 at Meridian Park. But go to their website, because I don't want to load up a bunch of people there and find out that something's wrong. Go to the website. Chastity, what's the website again?
So our Facebook page, you can find us on, it's Walton County Special Olympics. And then our page, is it, if you want to send an email, beafanwalton.com. Is that right, Ken?
beafan@walton.com.
You can send a message, yes, through that or through Facebook. And then our website is a blog spot. But if you just Google Walton County Special Olympics, it should bring it up for you.
Yep. That's easy enough. All right, so tell us about this big fundraising event coming up.
Spaghetti supper. We like to eat.
Spaghetti supper.
We have had the spaghetti supper. I can't even tell you right now how many years straight that we have. Well, we missed a couple years during the pandemic, but other than that, it's been a consistent fundraiser for us for many, many years. And that is Saturday evening, and it's held at Loganville Baptist Church, right across sort of from City Hall in Loganville. And we'll start serving about 4 o'clock, and we'll go till 7:30. And takeout's available. You get a full dinner for $10. You can't beat the price. And we'd love to have a big crowd this year.
And the proceeds go to an incredibly good event, a good cause. I mean, that's great stuff.
Yes.
So spaghetti dinner, and that's this Saturday, Loganville Baptist.
Yep.
Doors open at 4.
You
got tickets right there. What's on the menu, Chastity, besides spaghetti? Is it like garlic toast and salad?
So you get, it comes with the spaghetti, bread, salad, dessert.
No way, dessert
And
too.
the Loganville Women's Club will be there helping with the desserts.
Who's whipping up the spaghetti now? Is this like spaghetti out of a jar? You got somebody out
No,
here.
this is all of us.
This is
back
home
there.
cooked.
Yes, all
right.
of us.
Now I'm
back there.
picky because my mom makes some good spaghetti.
Oh, it's
So,
good.
I'm
It's
picky when it
really
comes to
good. It's
spaghetti.
my favorite fundraiser.
Miss Kim, this is a lot of fun. I hope we can point some people in y'all's direction. This is what the show is all about, is getting people involved in the community in some form or fashion. I couldn't think of a better cause than the Special Olympics. I appreciate what you do. I'll let you have the last 30 seconds to close out. Anything else that we're missing or anything else that we left off the table that you want our listeners to know about?
Well, I think you've pretty well covered it. But I would encourage anybody to come out and volunteer. I feel like once you do it, you're hooked for life. And we would really welcome any additional help we could get, especially this Friday, and then again on February 20th and April 16th and 17th. Those are all our local events still to come this year, and we would love to have as many volunteers as possible. So please join us.
Yes.
All right.
It's a lot of fun. And like Miss Kim said, once you come in and you pull up your sleeves and help us out, guaranteed you will be saying, when can I come back and
Something
help?
you want to
yes,
be a part of.
They absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate what both of y'all do. I know this is so important to Chastity and Kim. I appreciate the effort that you and your team put into this to be sure these
Kim is amazing.
people have a wonderful, wonderful event. So it's good stuff, Kim. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. When we come back, it is fishing report time. I know what you're thinking, Mark. How could it be a fishing report when it's 25
Fishing
degrees outside?
today?
We can fish.
I
Fishing
bet
can be
David
done.
Earl.
David Earl has an inside track, and if it's not fishing, it's other stuff. So, women, don't tune out. There's stuff for you too in this. This isn't just for the guys. This is for men and women. Stick around and listen to the Marc MaMain Show.
Offers land clearing, hauling of gravel and sand and more. And now offering screen topsoil for the farmer or homeowner. Asphalt paving and more. No job is too big or small. Locally owned and operated, it's Leadfoot Mulching and Grading. Serving all of North Georgia. Fair prices and great customer service. Phone 404-909-5227 or go to leadfootmulching.com.
Since 1979, the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family has been caring for families in their time of need. The Tim Stewart family pledges to honor your loved one with excellence in service, compassion, and will guide you in making the right decisions. To learn more about the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family, stop in at one of their 3 locations in Monroe, Loganville, and Lawrenceville. Call 770-267-2594 or go to stewardfh.com.
This is Pastor Stephen Butler from Bible Baptist Church in Monroe with some good news for you today. Romans 15:13 says, "Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." If your life is lacking joy, hope, and peace, may I suggest a spiritual checkup? What's your relationship with Jesus Christ like? Do you even have a personal relationship with Him? At Bible Baptist Church of Monroe, we would welcome you to come and visit with us. Regular services are held Sundays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. On Wednesdays at 7, we have children's activities and youth group for all middle and high school students, along with an adult Bible study. We also have Bible studies on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Wednesday mornings that are open to anyone. Come visit with us at Bible Baptist Church, 1180 Old Monroe Madison Highway in Monroe, or online at BibleBapt.org. And please come be our guest.
Youngblood Tractor in Madison is proud to be your local Massey Ferguson dealer. Massey Ferguson has been building straightforward, dependable, and affordable tractors and farm equipment for 175 years. Massey Ferguson right now has the best lineup in their 175-year history, and there has never been a better time to upgrade to a Massey Ferguson tractor. Youngblood Tractor carries the complete lineup of Massey Ferguson tractors, ranging from the 22.5 horsepower subcompact all the way up to the 130 horsepower mid-range utility tractor. And with one of the largest trailer inventories in the state, you'll always have a way to get it home. Youngblood Tractor also carries the complete lineup of hay equipment, including the legendary Massey Ferguson 1840 square baler, as well as implements like rotary cutters, batwing cutters, box blades, grapples, pallet forks, and more. There are great financing promotions to take advantage of, so give us a call today at 706-342-2242. Youngblood Tractor also has experienced parts and service departments to take care of you after the sale. Visit us online at www.youngbloodtractor.com or stop by and see us at 1600 Athens Highway in Madison.
And welcome back, Marc MaMain. Our final segment. It is the long-awaited fishing report from our buddy David Earl from Franklin's Gun Shop in Athens. David, how are you, sir? Oh, did we lose David? No fun to me. Can't do a fishing report without David. I mean, I haven't fished in a couple of weeks. It's been so doggone cold.
Oh, I know, and you're so excited about this. Is he there?
I don't know.
Hello?
Hey, there he is.
Okay.
I thought maybe you fell in the water, David.
If I did, I might freeze.
Well, David, this morning when I was driving over the Briscoe Reservoir on my left-hand side, the water was all icy. The right-hand side was moving, so it was not icy. Is it too cold to be fishing when there's ice on top of the water?
Negative. Them fish are going to seek out like today's a great day. The day it snowed was an awesome day. I had a friend of mine that fished Lake Russell, and they had about 15 pounds on Saturday in a tournament while it was snowing, which is really good.
That is nuts.
The fish are looking for that little bit of warmth. It's starting to get into their fun time. Springtime's coming. They're looking for the warmest water where they can, make babies and lay their eggs and have a whole bunch of little bitty bass swimming around.
How would you even feel your fingers, though? I don't get it. I don't know how you bait and line or anything like that.
It's tough, but I mean that's when if I fish a tournament this time of year, a lot of times you got to beat somebody mentally.
I would say
if
so.
If you can mentally say, hey, my hands aren't cold, and you catch a couple of fish, it warms you up inside, not really, but we got really, really good equipment now. We got gloves that we can kind of fish with, fingerless gloves, or we can open up the fingers to them. Heated gloves, heated socks, heated vest. A rain suit is 100% important this time of year because wind can't get through it.
Oh, mercy. It is so cold out there. But I do. Anytime I see a body of water when it's cold like this, I'm wondering, are the fish actually biting? What species are you catching when it's this cold? Is it everything? Is it crappie? Is it bass? Is it brim?
Yeah, a lot of people are targeting crappie right now. Pretty soon it'll be the white bass running in the rivers, and the bass are biting pretty good. We actually got a couple of tournaments coming up. We got one coming up on Lake Russell on Thursday, got one coming up on Lake Lanier on Saturday.
That's going to be no joke cold. Crazy. They'd be out there in the tournament, especially because these guys get on these boats and they go 60, 70 miles an hour to get to their honey hole.
Yeah.
So that's got to be freezing as well.
That is dedication, too.
It is dedication. David, let's shift gears for just a quick second here. Let's go back to hunting. What season are we in now for those that are not of the fisher variety they want to hunt? Where are we right now in the hunting season?
Squirrel season. I believe rabbit season is still in. I guess I'm trying to think of what the next thing is coming up.
Well, speaking of squirrel season, so we've got a squirrel that comes in our back deck every day and starts making a nest, and it gives Liliana fits. But I live in a neighborhood, so I would assume I'd get in trouble if I broke out something and blasted the squirrel away. It's probably not the right thing to do.
Okay, we'll go ahead and tell you. Maybe Peter won't get on to us for saying it, but go ahead and get you a pellet gun. One shot in the ear, and that squirrel never bother you again. But if you got to take him out, take him out.
Yeah, he is just nonstop. Liliana's at that point where she's like, "Hey, make him go away." So
that's right. Hey, it's either that or a $300 pest control bill for somebody to come out and get rid of him for you.
I'm a stopper. Even if one runs in front of me, I have to stop. It would just hurt my heart if I even just accidentally just. Boop.
Yeah, I don't want to intentionally run one over, but it's when they're making the nest in the back deck, it creates quite a mess.
Yeah, you don't want the mess back there.
Well, we're talking to David Earl, getting the fishing report, Franklin's Gun Shop. David, you were talking about some of the goodies that you guys have there at Franklin's Gun Shop. Let's kind of go back through the fishing gear, anything that you have on special right now, even though it is winter, but spring will be right around the corner.
Hey, you can come in. I just got a whole big selection of Lucas catch-all spinners for the white bass that'll be running here in 2 or 3 weeks in the rivers. Got some Hags baits, their Tornado, which is their jackhammer chatterbait look-alike. I got those. I got frogs. People's like, oh, it's too early for a frog. Well, we're going to Eufaula February 28th, and it won't be too early then. So we stocked up on them. I got some deals on those. All my arc rods and reels are back in stock. If I don't got it, I can get it in just a little bit. It wouldn't take long at all. I tell people, if I ain't got it, I'll do my very best to get it for you.
Well, you guys do have a great selection at Franklin's Gun Shop in Athens. It's got everything from guns, supplies, hunting supplies, fishing supplies, and things that you don't even realize you need until you're there, and you're like, oh, man, I need that. You got to visit the store because there's nothing like it. I mean, it has got everything under the roof. Let me ask you this, David. Valentine's Day is not far away, so it's February 2nd, so 12 days away to Valentine's Day. I don't know if I could think of a better way to spend Valentine's Day than go to a gun shop, maybe hit a shooting range, maybe go to one of the skeet, trap ranges, one of the clay pigeon fields, and then maybe go to dinner after that. So where do you recommend? Obviously, first stop is to Franklin's Gun Shop to get your supplies, get your gun, get your ammo. Where are some of the gun ranges that you'd recommend? Or if somebody wants to go out and actually shoot skeet, shoot trap, where should they go?
Yeah, they got right next door. They got the gun club behind us here at 3941 Atlanta Highway. It's right behind us, behind Tires Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then there's Brush Creek Farms out there. I believe they do skeet shooting. And hey, if you come in, we can ask Brian and them. They probably got some other places that's available too. But that's a great idea because hey, I told somebody one time. I said I'm a fisherman. You can't not buy me nothing wrong. If you buy me something to do with fishing, even if it's wrong, I'm going to love it because you bought what I loved. If you can't pick me something out, pick out a gift certificate for Franklin's, I get a discount anyway, so it doubles down on the discount. But for the regular customer, anybody, I don't care, Bass Pro, any of the other stores, buy them a gift certificate where they can get what they want for the outdoors.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And there's something for everybody under that roof. It's for men and for women. Even if you're not into fishing or hunting, there's stuff there for fashion. There's some good clothes that you can wear and sunglasses, all kinds of great gifts that you guys have at Franklin's Gun Shop. What's next for you? You mentioned a tournament in Eufaula. Is that Lake Eufaula over in Alabama? Is that where you're going?
Yes, Lake Eufaula in Alabama.
Now, is that all it's cracked up to be? Because I've crossed that lake 100 times in my life, and I've always said, man, I love to fish it. Tons of boats on that lake from time to time. Is it a good fishing lake?
It is. It really is. To go way back 40-plus years ago, almost 50 now, I won my very first tournament on Lake Eufaula in Alabama. I was a Albany, Georgia resident growing up, so I fished the lake as a kid a couple of times, but I drove from Athens to Eufaula and won the very first tournament I fished in, and that actually made the down payment on the house that I am living in today.
He is a legit fisherman. That must have been one heck of a tournament you entered. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, David, this is good stuff, and I tell the listeners again, boy, there's no better way to spend a weekend, especially as it warms up a little bit. Within just a driving distance of here in our listening area, you've got Lake Russell, you've got Lake Oconee, you've got Lake Lanier, you've got Clarks Hill, you've got Lake Hartwell. All these places are just incredibly great places to go. They have public boat ramps that if you decide to bring your own boat, or some of these places even offer boat rentals. And if they don't offer that and you don't want to get on a boat, just go find a place to fish from the dock or fish from the edge and just have a blast. It is a great way to spend, in my opinion, a great way to spend Valentine's Day. Liliana may not agree with that, but it's my opinion.
That's right. Hey, you get her what she wants for her day, and she gets you what you want for your day, and it's a 50-50 deal.
It's a win-win. She loves shopping. So I can take her to
Franklin's.
Franklin's. We can do the shopping at Franklin's, and then we head on over to the lakes and fish for a couple hours. So that's a great Valentine's Day. David, I greatly appreciate you, buddy. Please stay warm out there. We wish you the best of luck in your tournaments coming up. Hopefully you knock some out of the park and fill us in on the next show on how you did and how you performed. Maybe put a down payment on a house down in Florida, like a vacation home.
There you go.
There you go. And I'll probably be doing that in Panama City Beach, Florida, though, if I do anything.
There you go.
Good place to be. Good place to be. All right, we'll be right back. That's David Earl, Franklin's Gun Shop, located in Athens. If you've never been, folks, great place to go. And I mean it. Stuff for everybody there. So even if you don't want to get hunting gear, they got all kinds of gadgets and goodies and things that you didn't realize you needed them until you see them. You're listening to the Marc MaMain Show. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Youngblood Tractor in Madison is proud to be your local Massey Ferguson dealer. Massey Ferguson has been building straightforward, dependable, and affordable tractors and farm equipment for 175 years. Massey Ferguson right now has the best lineup in their 175-year history, and there has never been a better time to upgrade to a Massey Ferguson tractor. Youngblood Tractor carries the complete lineup of Massey Ferguson tractors ranging from the 22.5 horsepower subcompact all the way up to the 130 horsepower mid-range utility tractor. And with one of the largest trailer inventories in the state, you'll always have a way to get it home. Youngblood Tractor also carries the complete lineup of hay equipment, including the legendary Massey Ferguson 1840 square baler, as well as implements like rotary cutters, batwing cutters, box blades, grapples, pallet forks, and more. There are great financing promotions to take advantage of, so give us a call today at 706-342-2242. Youngblood Tractor also has experienced parts and service departments to take care of you after the sale. Visit us online at www.youngbloodtractor.com or stop by and see us at 1600 Athens Highway in Madison.
And welcome back, Marc MaMain. That was a great show today, Chassie.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm glad you were able to get Miss Kim Wages on talking about the Special Olympics. So good way to spend your weekend. So this Friday, 9:30, go volunteer. Then Saturday night, 4 o'clock, Loganville Baptist, go get you a meal.
Yes.
Spaghetti dinner for $10.
Oh, can't beat it.
You
And
can't beat
dessert.
it.
And the fellowship is amazing.
Oh, so you can actually stay and eat there
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Okay, hang out, eat,
Yep.
fellowship. What would dessert be for $10? Give me an idea. What are we
I
expecting?
mean, the dessert is huge. It's like there's probably 30 different cakes.
Really?
The Loganville Women's
So there's a bunch
Club.
of home cooking going on
Yes.
for this deal.
Yep. It's a big deal. And it's so good. So.
I bet. Man, I
Yeah.
wish I had an event scheduled for that.
Well,
I hate to
I'll
miss
bring
that.
y'all a to-go plate.
Yeah, I
There
need
you
a to-go plate. I love spaghetti. Who do you got in store for tomorrow, Chastity?
Oh, yes. So tomorrow we have Bart Benton, Mr. Lance Goodson, and Gary Wilson.
3 successful
So,
entrepreneurs coming in,
yes.
sharing their stories, sharing their services with us. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll be thought out a little bit. And I don't know about that doggone groundhog. Maybe we need to have our own groundhog here at
There
Julio
you go.
Studios,
I
WMOQ.
like that idea.
Or, I don't know if we can find a groundhog. We
We'll
definitely
just-
find a squirrel or chipmunk
well,
outside.
We got cows right next
Yeah,
door.
we got cows.
Yeah.
Let's just make that our own official deal.
We'll just do it.
I'm done with the cold.
I love it.
Yeah, way too cold. I'm ready for this to be over
I'm
with.
over. No more snow.
All right, folks, we appreciate you joining us today. This is Marc MaMain Show. We'll be back on tomorrow at noon. Until then, stay safe, stay warm.